Sometimes pedigree makes a difference. Going into this third fight with Canelo Alvarez, no focus has been placed on a change that Gennady Golovkin has made in his career, trainer-wise, adding Jonathan Banks. Well, I'm here to talk about how Banks can make a difference.
Great round for Spence right now. He's been throwing that right left continuously.
After listening in to a number of people give their thoughts on how the third fight coming up this Saturday, September 17th, between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin in their trilogy match will play out, it's interesting that many people have basically picked simply on what their sensibilities tell them about the age of the fighters, where they are in their careers, how active they've been, the typical things that you put on the table. However, I believe when you have fighters that are at the top level of the sport competing against one another, one thing plays into it more than anything else, and that is the intangibles. The intangibles are the unforeseen aspects and elements that play into boxing, and so many people do not have an understanding. It comes down in a third fight to who makes the proper adjustments. And here we have no idea. Canelo's coming off of a loss. Triple G is coming off of a fight where he didn't fare well, but he still won by stoppage. And now they're seeing each other for a third time. So there could be underlying elements of feelings harbored toward what they actually think of one another, their reservations about fighting one another. Although Triple G has said that he wanted this fight all along since the second fight played out, Canelo has said he didn't want this fight. But the thing about Canelo is he always tries to do the sleight of hand. He's never sincere when it comes down to the challenges, because he tries to put up a facade about where he truly is, confidence-wise, as well as the opponents that are available to challenge him. He doesn't acknowledge those who are competitive enough to threaten his position, but then he'll compliment others. It's a mixed bag, and you have to understand who you're talking about when you are dealing with these circumstances. The two of them fought to a draw, and Canelo inked out a decision in a series of fights that took place earlier that saw the fight that Canelo earned the decision look like it was actually the fight that could have been the draw, and the fight where it was called a draw, seemingly Canelo could have earned that decision. Gennady is coming into this fight with his record of 42-1-1 with 37 KOs, and he's ready to make some different moves. But will he try to box like he did in the second fight, or will he return to being an aggressor? If he does return to being aggressive, tactics and strategy play heavily in this consideration. And I believe lead right hands should be within the mix. Gennady has a very good right hand. He has a very good right hook. But in this fight, the straight right down the pike, would assist him against Canelo. Remember, adjustments are key here, and the key components against someone like Canelo Alvarez, who will be definitely studying you to be consistent with what you've done before. You have to make the adjustments, the necessary adjustments to give him a different look. And I'll tell you something, it's often been said in the past, when you're hitting a professional, experienced fighter with lead right hands, it frustrates the hell out of them. Canelo doesn't think that a fighter is game enough to hit him with a lead right. But remember, one classic fight, Muhammad Ali against George Foreman, the Rumble in the Jungle. Ali came out in that first round and threw about 8 to 10 lead right hands to George Foreman. It's an insult to a veteran fighter that a pro boxer would do something like that, but it would throw Canelo's game plan off. And let's not forget, Golovkin has a tremendous left hook. So, giving a different look, making the adjustments, providing new wrinkles, give Canelo something to think about. He really thinks that he's better than he actually is, and he's been able to get away with that fighting the quality of opposition that he's faced. Primarily, most of the men, he's had more experience. But Gennady has tremendous experience, plus in the amateurs, as well as the professional ranks. And he's always been a boss in there. And in the second fight, where he wanted to utilize his boxing ability a little bit more, he forgot about letting his hands go to mix it up in an aggressive fashion. Well, his jab has always been very good, a pulverizing jab. Now imagine slipping in those lead rights and then pumping that stiff jab. Remember, Canelo doesn't have great legs. He has flat tires, and a lot of people are under the impression that he'll be more mobile because he's younger and he can give Golovkin the type of angles that will trouble Golovkin. But that's not necessarily true. Even at 40 years old, Golovkin will have the better mobility. All he has to do is make certain that when it comes down to the mid-range levels, that he gives Canelo something to pay for on the inside. Uppercuts to the breadbasket, but everything off of the jab. And the jab should not just be going toward the chin. He has to pump the jab to the chest, to the neck, to the solar plexus. Throwing the shots in combination. Combination is the key. But those lead right hands will take a toll, I guarantee you. All he has to do is throw approximately 5 to 6 of them around. It will definitely give Canelo something to think about, and then get right back to that jab. Now, when we talk about the mid-range levels of competing, for this being the third go-round, Golovkin has got to keep the shots short, and he has to make certain that he maintains the aggression on the inside. He needs to rough Canelo up on the inside. Push him around a little bit, maybe mix in some elbows, maybe a low blow or two. The reason, like I said, the intangibles. You have to turn this into something a little bit different from what he's seen from you before. You have to fight him as if you're in a fight with him. You're not there to be friends. So the body work is of essential. You have to make sure that when he gets close to you, you make him pay. Canelo is thinking that he's going to go to Golovkin's body. But remember this, people. In order to throw body shots, you've got to be close enough to the opponent. And in this instance, both men can be tremendous body punchers. Though Golovkin has not made a career of it, Canelo has more in this department. And so therefore, you have to give him back what he gives you. If he landed a great shot, try the damn same shot against him. Harder, more fierce, and push him off of you and give it to him again, over and over again. This is how I can see Gennady Golovkin being successful in this match. Remember, this is the third go-round. It's about tactics, strategies, adjustments. It's not about who won the first two fights. It's about getting a victory in this fight. And in order to do that, you have to be different. You have to bring something that the opponent is not aware of and prepared for. Psychologically, this is how you become the superior fighter. A lot of people don't think about the intangibles, but the intangibles have always played a role in trilogies. It's not just nuts and guts. Think about it in that regard. This is Stormy B, man. Those are my thoughts about this third fight and how it can play out if Triple G really wants to earn a victory. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think about what I had to say in an assessment of Triple G going into this next fight. Until we meet again, peace to everyone out there, and everyone, please remain safe.